it's Dave at No Recipe Required, and tonight I'm going to show you what No Recipe Required is all about. So I set off doing a chicken dish, like a stuffed chicken with Gruyere cheese and mushrooms. I was just pounding out the chicken breast and kablooey, I tore the whole thing apart, so I can't really stuff it. What I can do though is use those same ingredients to create the same kind of flavor profiles in just a slightly different way. So let's go ahead and do a Gruyere chicken with mushroom sauce. So my mushrooms have cooked down quite a bit now. You can see how much they've reduced in size, and I've definitely got browned sides kind of on all the mushrooms in there. We're going to finish this off. We'll turn it into a sauce now. We're changing our mind from the stuffing because I split out the chicken, but that's totally fine. I'm going to throw some onion and garlic in there and turn the heat down. Just let those soften up. And then this will become our sauce. So either while your mushroom stuffing starts to cook, or again, you could do this separately. You want to pound out a couple chicken breasts until they're nice and flat. You want kind of a 1/4 inch thickness, and really the best way I find wine bottle. This is an old one, screw top that I just filled with water. Works really well. However you want to do it is fine. You just want to get it kind of nice, uniform thickness, and I find the best way, just kind of gentle taps. More is better, and eventually you'll get it nice and flat. And we're going to lay our stuffing down and roll the chicken out. Okay, so as sometimes happens, as you're pounding out chicken, my breast kind of split. So what we're going to do, in the spirit of No Recipe Required, is change up our recipe a little bit. I've got the mushrooms going for our stuffing. We're going to turn that into a sauce. We're still going to use the Gruyere cheese. Going to top the chicken. We're just going to change the recipe up, kind of an open face style instead of the stuffed chicken. Okay, so we've got our chicken pounded out flat. We're going to season both sides, salt and pepper, and I like to do this about 20 minutes or so before cooking it. Took it out of the fridge to let it come up to room temperature so that it cooks nice and evenly. We'll flip these over, get the other side, and we'll come back when it's time to cook them. Okay, so I just put a pan over the heat for our chicken. I'm going to sear them off. Remember, they're pretty thin, so they're going to cook very quickly. I've also just turned our broiler on because that's how we're going to melt our Gruyere cheese on our chicken breasts. I got them seasoned, salt and pepper. You want to hear that nice sizzle as you lay them down. And then I'm going to let these go. They're probably only going to take about 2 minutes per side. Like I said, in a good hot pan. Once I see them starting to cook around the edges, we'll flip them over, top them with our cheese, and then pop them into the oven. I just put our mushrooms, if you did them early like I did, back on the heat to make our sauce while our chicken cooks. Okay, so I just added my chicken about 30 seconds ago. Our mushrooms are back up to temperature. I'm going to add some chicken stock to that mushroom, along with just a touch of Marsala wine. Now, should have added the wine first, but it's alright. It'll work out just fine. You forget something like that, just don't tell anybody. Nobody's going to know. I'm going to let this come up to temperature and just reduce down while we finish our chicken. Okay, so I can see our chicken is starting to get done around the edges, so I'm going to come over and pick it up, give it a nice little flip. You want to see nice brown on the underside there. Get these last couple pieces over. And then what I'm going to do is top the chicken with our Gruyere cheese. And then I'm going to slide this right into a oven with the broiler on high. And I want to get that cheese kind of melted and then just slightly browned in a few spots before we cook our chicken, which is why you need that super hot broiler on high. Okay, so I just popped our chicken into the oven. I've got some fresh rosemary here that I'm going to add to our mushrooms. And I'm just going to season with a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. Stir that in, and once the sauce is pretty well reduced, I'm just going to grab a little bit of cornstarch and water and add this. This is looking about done, so let me grab our cornstarch, and that's going to thicken up our sauce just a little bit. Okay, so I just pulled our chicken out of the broiler. You can see the cheese is melted. Little kind of brown bits around the edges. Exactly what you're looking for. You still want a little bit of that stringiness to the Gruyere. Chicken needs to rest for 3 or 4 minutes, which is the perfect amount of time we need to finish our sauce. So once our mushroom sauce is reduced down, that chicken stock and marsala wine, I'm just going to hit it with a little bit of cornstarch and water, as well as about a tablespoon of butter. I'm going to melt both of those in there. If at any time you over thicken it, which is not all that hard to do, you know, you might do accidentally, you can always just take a little bit of water, add it, and thin it right back out, and repeat the process as needed until you get the consistency that you want. This is looking pretty good, so I'm going to kill the heat. Our chicken is done and resting. So let's go ahead and serve this up. Okay, we've got our delicious little Gruyere chicken, melted cheese right on top, and our mushroom sauce. We're going to pull that off and just kind of lay it right over top. Delicious and nutritious. I think you guys are going to love it. And I will see you next time on No Recipe Required.